TJ Otzelberger and Iowa State, fresh off their largest tournament win in program history, beat Lipscomb by 27. Chris Beard and Ole Miss making their own history on this night. Mid-first half, here come Tim Doyle's Rebels. Sean Padula to Malik Dia for 3. 2 minutes later, Jamin Brakefield knocking down a 3. 8 minutes to go in the first half. Matthew Morrell caps a 19-2 Rebels run. Iowa State went 1 for 12 over that span, Tim.
Yeah, Iowa State never really found the rhythm, and I think by not making shots, it actually affected their defense. The energy, the enthusiasm. Hakeem, it wasn't there. Sean Padula dropping dimes. Rebels had their way.
Go get it, young fella. Deal at all scores with 14 points in the first half. Early second, Padula to Drake Davis. Davis to Brakefield. Rebels by 17, their largest lead thus far. Mid-second half, Padula with the steal, reverse, up 21, Matt. I mean, they were in control.
It was complete control from start to finish, and, you know, impressive from Ole Miss to do this, but, man, Hakeem, I got to step back and say there's just been 4 or 5 matchups in the first weekend of the tournament were going in. I thought they'd be tighter, and it just wasn't the case whatsoever. This was a prime example of just that.
Up 22. Remember, they blew a 22-point lead against North Carolina, but held on. Iowa State get this within 10, but a minute to go. Force another turnover. Brakefield slams it down. Ole Miss wins 91-78. Have a day, kids. Ole Miss advancing to the Sweet 16 for the second time in school history and their first since 2001. Dance on, Ole Miss.
Congratulations. I asked you last round, are you content? You said no. You said no. What about now?
We set this up as a 4-team tournament, 2 games to get to Atlanta. So really proud of these guys. We played with a lot of poise.
My guys were talking about that left step back from a center. Did you really not think you could play past high school, Malik?
There was a certain point where I didn't think I could. But just, you know, staying with the belief and the blessings that I have, man, is unreal, man. So it's just awesome to be here.
He's a dog.
Tell me why.
This dude, nobody knows how much work this dude puts in. And, like, the growth he's had from the summer, like, this dude's a phenomenal player, even better guy, and his work ethic's insane. One-on-one.
Sean, you're one of one as well. We saw your entire family in the crowd. Moments like this, you think of who got you here. What comes to mind?
I mean, yeah, my family for sure. I grew up with 8 siblings, 5 brothers. We had some battles in the driveway, and they made me who I am today. That competitive nature that they brought out of me, that's who I am.
Ole Miss is heading to the Sweet 16. What do we think, gentlemen?
Hey, let's go, baby.
On to the next. On to the next.
On to the next. Congratulations.
Let's go indeed. Ole Miss shot an eye-popping 58% from the field, including 11 of 19 from beyond the arc. Sean Padula leading the way for the Rebels as they win by 13, their largest win in an NCAA tournament game, now looking to reach the Elite Eight for the first time in school history.
First few minutes. You know, our goal is to always have 8 or less turnovers, and Iowa State is the team that forced 16, 17 turnovers a game. So I feel like once we started taking care of the ball more, we was able to settle in and was able to play.
Matt, you've been banged up this year. That's no secret. How meaningful is it for you to keep extending your season with this group of guys when it didn't seem like there was any thought that you'd shut anything down?
Man, it means everything. Just being hurt and just being able to go out there and still be able to affect winning with this team at a high level, you know, it means everything. You know, I praise God just allowing me to be able to continue to play without further damaging myself.
He's a dog.
Adam Rittenberg with ESPN. SEC has now broken a record for most teams in the Sweet 16 with 7. Obviously, both teams out of this pod have advanced. What do you guys think about that, and how has this league kind of prepared you guys to make a run in the tournament?
Like all year long, everybody was talking about how dominant the SEC was in the non-conference, and then going into conference play, it was, you know, still dominant. You know, every game, every night was a tough game. So it doesn't surprise me at all, you know, that going into March Madness that we have so many teams in the Sweet 16, because every team in that league is just so good, and, you know, the results show.
You know, it's just a dogfight every night. You know, day in and day out. I mean, it's 2 games a week. So just on, you know, in the tournament you have 1 day prep. Sometimes you have most of the week, just depending on when you're playing. So, I mean, just the quick turnarounds, being able to do that in the SEC play, it allows us to be able to do it here in the tournament.
Steve McGargy, Associated Press. For Matthew, just started this, what gave y'all confidence going into this season that y'all could do what you've been able to do? I mean, this was something that had been really done a whole lot at Ole Miss.
I'm looking at the guy right there. Nah, every day he instills confidence in us, and just we all trust the work we put in, just the process day in and day out, the consistency of it. You know, never taking each day for granted, trying to maximize our 24 hours. So, you know, every day we just work and we let the work show.
Mike Severson, Marquette Wire. So, question I have for you guys, both of you, Matt and David. So, this veteran group coming together throughout the course of the last couple seasons, what's one thing that stands out to both of you guys about that?
I think it's everybody just buying in, you know, coming in with all these transfers into Ole Miss, and, you know, a lot of guys from different areas, different colleges, different teams. And then once you get it all together, how we all just bought into our roles, to our game plan, what coach had for us. And then ultimately the results just show how once everybody buys in that we can win.
No, buying in was definitely a big thing. You know, in this world of transferring now, you know, people are transferring for their certain reasons, but I feel like everybody that came to this program, we all came to this program with one meaning, and that's to win. You know, and most of the guys haven't been to the tournament, and to be able to make a run in the tournament is something special for all of us.
Thank you, student athletes. Appreciate your time very much. Questions for Coach Beard, please.
Chris, I was wondering if you might elaborate on what you were talking about earlier when you said the first few minutes were scary, and then after that you guys just I've played some of your best basketball this season. What do you think sort of led to the switch?
Yeah, it was just kind of a disappointing start because we spent a day and a half talking about some offensive spacing and objectives, and we just kind of did quite the opposite early. But give the guys credit. We got a poised group. They allow me to be me. You know, especially Juju, he always kind of calms me down. So no, I thought we did a good job executing the game plan for probably 35 of the 40 minutes. And certainly a big part of the game plan was to try to take care of the basketball.
Chris, you've obviously coached in the Big 12, really good league. Now in this league, having this type of output in the tournament to get in, but then the advancement to the next weekend, what does that mean just as an SEC coach?
Yeah, it's really not about me. It's just about these players. I mean, we got guys that have played 4 and 5 years of college basketball and given everything they could have possibly given, and just haven't played in the NCAA tournament yet. So, and we felt that pressure. You know, we were kind of a, you know, win or bust team. Like we set the objective really high. You know, we want to go in the tournament. We want to have a good seed. We want to be one of those teams that has a chance to win the tournament. And, you know, Ole Miss winning the tournament, I don't know. Probable? No. Possible? Absolutely. You know, right now with our team, we're watching the Coach Valvano special. You know, we're not done yet, and players are like, you know, when are we going to finish? I said, we're going to finish on Sunday night, right before the Monday game. So it's not arrogance, but it's absolutely belief. If I didn't believe this team was capable of continuing to win games in this tournament, then I shouldn't be the coach at Ole Miss. So, but this is all about the players. You know, these guys have really bought in. They've been an unselfish group since the first day of summer. And just to see their hard work pay off, it's really rewarding.
Chris, you said these guys let you be you tonight. Has this team sort of adopted your personality? Have they become more like maybe the way you are?
You know, I think above all, I'm very competitive. I think above all, I don't try to think of words. I don't really care about people's feelings that I have a relationship with. So with the players, kind of a direct teaching. So, yeah, these players have allowed me to do that. Just like as a coaching staff, we've tried to reach the guys in the best way we can reach them. Some of these guys need that. They need the hard, direct message. Some of these guys need some kind of poise and confidence in moments. But I would say that's an accurate statement. These guys have allowed our coaching staff to coach them. And I think our staff's done a pretty good job allowing each guy in our program to be the best version of themselves as individuals as well.
Chris, I guess kind of going on.
Chris Beard getting Ole Miss into the Sweet 16 for the first time since 2001, just the second time in school history. What can they do? They've never been to the Elite Eight, but this is a record for the SEC. 7 teams into the Sweet 16. That's the most from any conference to reach the Sweet 16. Ole Miss on to Atlanta. All right, I don't really need to say much. Tim, what do you got?
Should I just leave the desk, by the way? I mean, he can take, I think he should just take this whole segment, don't you?
I believe he should.
I mean, I might as well just get up. Go ahead.
Here,
it's all you.
We could both just
let's
take a one shot on Tim.
Yeah, one shot. It's all you, Tim. It's all you.
To the state of Mississippi, to the Ole Miss grads. Put that in there right there. That's my new hanky for the rest of the game.
Tournament, you mean?
Bravo. Bravo. No, not tournament, okay?
Tournament?
Bravo. 91 points against Iowa State. I could never have dreamed a performance like that. Sean Padula was outstanding. He had help. 6 Ole Miss players in double figures. This was an Iowa State team I thought could play defense. This is an Iowa State team that I thought could control Ole Miss. Not so much. I was wrong, and I will say I am dumb.
No, you need to go a step further.
September.
No, 4 words. You need to say this. I want you to look into the camera.
Wow.
Let's get an ISO on him. ISO on Tim. Look at the camera.
Wow, now Matt's
I want you to say this. I am a fraud. You need to say it for the Ole Miss fans. You need to say it, and you know you need to say it. You need to say those 4 words to resolve and absolve yourself.
I am a fraud. September 13th, I will be at the Arkansas Ole Miss game. I will get the dunk tank for the Ole Miss.
To quote Tom York,
Arkansas game on September 13th. I was wrong. You know, I'm in the business of giving opinions. My opinion stunk, and I was wrong.
I'll quote Tom York. You do it to yourself, and that's what really hurts. Okay?
What does that mean?
Radiohead. Look it up. Great job out of Ole Miss.
Great job.
Great job. Iowa State let down, you know, a team that had a really, really good season. And the Keyshawn Gilbert injury comes up big. Although, if he was even available in this game,
I don't think it would have mattered.
I don't think it would have mattered. Malik Dia also played tremendously. And the big picture stuff, SEC, 7 teams into the Sweet 16. That is a record, folks. The ACC previously held the record in 2016, and now the SEC, which sent a record 14 teams to the big dance, has a 50% hit rate into the second weekend. And so you have, let me see if I can do this off the top of my head. Arkansas, Alabama, Auburn, Ole Miss, Tennessee, Kentucky. That's 6. Who am I missing?
Florida.
Florida. Gators, chomp chomp. 7 going to the Sweet 16. There were some people looking around like maybe the SEC shouldn't have sent this many. There was, you know, some of the bad teams lost immediately in the tournament, but they get 7 on through, and they will be the most represented team ever.
Tell me this, okay?
Yeah.
Did the committee know that Keyshawn Gilbert was going to play? No. Should Iowa State been a 3 seed?
No, if he wasn't available, it's not a 3 seed. Regardless, got to play the game. You got to win who's in front of you.
I'm not doing that.
All right.
I am not doing that.
We're going to give the great folks in the state of Mississippi some more content. Just to give you a little bit of backstory here, let's take a look at this from Friday.
Now, Ole Miss, you go out and beat Iowa State, who's waiting for you. You go out and beat an Iowa State that's one of the best defensive teams in the country. You go beat an Iowa State team that could spread you out. Now all of a sudden you have a fan for life. Okay, now I will go down to Ole Miss, down to Oxford. I will go to a football game. I will sit in the dunk tank. Okay, you beat Iowa State.
All right, so there we go. Doyle in the dunk tank.
Can I give you a date?
Yeah.
September 13th, this year, Arkansas versus Ole Miss.
Okay.
It will be my first SEC game.
Okay.
I've always wanted to go to one.
Okay.
That will be an unusual way that I'm there. But, you know, when you move down south, you're supposed to, like, adopt a team.
Yeah.
You think Ole Miss would be okay with it?
No.
I think if you say sorry...
I just looked into a camera and said I was a fraud.
I think if you say that to them in person, you did. But if you say that to them in person and you say that you're a fan for life, I think that they will welcome you in with open arms. The people in the South, they're good people. They're like the people in the Midwest.
Hey, you want some people?
You're from the Midwest. I'm from the Midwest. We'll welcome you. Say, you know what? You said some nasty things about us. We're going to welcome you back. We have forgiveness in our hearts. I think that they do.
Well, There's really not much more to me to say. I was wrong. You see the square right there? Congratulations. Not only did they win, they won at a high level. They beat a team that had a great year. Super impressive. Over 90 points against an Iowa State team, Matt, that prides himself on defense. They were great.
Yeah, they were. And this is the first Sweet 16 for Ole Miss, I believe, since 2001. Chris Beard has gotten this program into the second weekend. And it's not just Sean Padula, although he does a good job. I mean, Malik Dia has had moments throughout this season where he has stepped up, and it was again tonight. I mean, he had stretches here where he was the most dynamic and player on the floor. Just must-watch stuff. Across the board, this was domination, tip to Final Horn. Congrats to the Rebels and their fan base, because I know they've been waiting a long time for this. And so here we have it. And what do we have here? What do we have here?
No, I'm filming this because I like the Doyle dunk tank graphic.
Okay.
Pretty cool,
Well,
yeah.
there you go.
Well done.
Yeah,
well done by Vinny, our graphic artist.
Vinny, great. It's my son's name.
/ producer
Throws me under the
extraordinaire.
bus.
Who
Thanks, Vinny.
just kind of threw that together. That's pretty quick, right? He was working on it at halftime, so he cooked that up right there. He got that going, and you know what? I appreciate that, Tim Doyle, that you said that you're sorry. You owned up to it. You did.
Hey, you know,
I appreciate that.
We're in a business of giving opinions. I will never use the F word ever again.
There you go. There it is. Doyle into the dunk tank. It's Ole Miss who dunks down Iowa State into the Sweet 16.